Good morning. We're here this morning shortly after the arraignment of a man by the name of Abel Gebrahawaria. Mr. Gebrahawaria was arraigned on one count of kidnapping in the second degree for an incident that occurred on March 2nd, 2014. It started in the city of Buffalo and it finished in the town of Cheektowaga. What the accusation here is that Mr. Gebrahawaria, he forcibly abducted a 26-year-old Cheektowaga woman from her driveway in Cheektowaga, and he forcibly abducted her, so we've charged him with kidnapping in the second degree. The grand jury returned an indictment yesterday. I'm here with the Assistant District Attorney Dan Maddle, who is the prosecutor handling this case, along with Cheektowaga Police Chief Brian Coons, Detective Justin Haig, Detective Lieutenant Justin Haig, and the lead detective on the case, Detective Eric Derby. Cheektowaga has done a spectacular job right from the get-go on investigation of this case and allowing us to put this man in custody. He was remanded after the arraignment. We do not have a return date just yet, but the case will be assigned to a judge. It goes on the wheel, and we'll probably get a judge assigned sometime early next week, and then a pretrial conference will be scheduled after that. But we don't have a return date in court just yet. I'll tell you, again, these are merely accusations. He is presumed innocent until and unless he is found guilty. But essentially what happened here was on March 2nd, 2024, shortly after midnight, around 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, the 26-year-old woman had been out for several hours at a number of establishments in downtown Buffalo. She got into her car and she was apparently followed by this man all the way from downtown Buffalo to her home in Cheektowaga. She had no idea that she was being followed until she got into her driveway. She parked her car, got out of her vehicle, and this man immediately had parked in the street, and he immediately approached her in her driveway. She was startled. He attacked her. She screamed. She fought with him. She struggled with him, but he was able to pull her and drag her into the back seat of his car. And then he jumped into his vehicle and tried to drive away. He didn't get very far. He got about 8 or 10 houses down the street. She was able to reach from the back seat and reach over and grab the steering wheel. She pulled the steering wheel, and the vehicle crashed went up over the curb and crashed. She was then able to get out of the car and flee back to her home. He then fled the scene. She went to her home, and a family member called the Cheektowaga police immediately. Cheektowaga, as I said already, did a spectacular job right away responding to this. They immediately interviewed the victim in this case. They did a number of other witness interviews. They collected digital evidence all the way back to downtown Buffalo and just did a very thorough and determined job investigating this case, so that within a couple of days we were able to identify and eventually, as I said already, we were able to get an indictment of this man that was returned yesterday. So he is charged with a B violent felony. He's facing up to 25 years in prison, and the case will be returnable sometime next week. I think the message here for the public is, first of all, this is an extremely rare occurrence, a stranger abduction like this. It has not happened. I just spoke to our bureau chief of our Special Victims Bureau before making this statement, which is this has not happened in our memory or even in her memory going back, a complete stranger abduction like this, where luckily, because this woman fought and defended herself and acted extremely, quickly and in a smart way, luckily, she was able to get out of that vehicle and get away before anything more serious happened. This was, of course, shocking and traumatic to her, but I think the message here for the public is to be alert, be aware. I mean, she's in her driveway when this happens. It's extremely alarming. She's literally going into her home at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning when she's attacked by this man. Now, again, I'll say that these are only accusations. He is innocent until proven guilty. But we're moving forward with this case from here. And if there are any questions for either me or the chief or any of us, we'll take questions now.
Chief, was he known to Cheektowaga police?
No, he was not. Thank you for allowing me to be here and stand before you guys today just to announce the arrest of Mr. Gabriel Hawaria. There you go. I want to commend, and I'm extremely proud of my detectives, Lieutenant Haig, Detective Eric Derby, our crime scene investigation unit, and the rest of the detectives that spent many long hours tracking down the evidence for this case. I'd also like to thank Buffalo Police, the Buffalo Police camera room, and all the citizens and businesses that provided footage for us for this case. Mr. Guaharia was not known to us prior to this.
Where's he from?
Buffalo.
Did the victim and the suspect, did they know each other before this? Was this just a random
No,
act?
that was a random act.
How difficult is something like this to solve when there's no reason behind it?
Right, it was very difficult. The detectives did a great job. They got right in right away and started working on it diligently. Spent lots of time interviewing her, other people she was with that night, tracking down leads, and then finding camera footage and everything else from that, which eventually led to the arrest.
You mentioned the Buffalo Police camera room. How important was that video footage? How crucial was that to solving this?
Very crucial. We were able to track the victim from the movements from when she left to all the way to Cheektowaga.
The camera footage, was that driveway camera footage in
Everything.
Cheektowaga?
Yeah, we had businesses, citizens, you name it, we had it. Yeah.
What's your message to the women and just the people of Cheektowaga going forward? This has to be scary for citizens to just see this and say, that could be me.
Absolutely. It was a nightmare for our victim. Hopefully this is the start of the end of that nightmare for her. I encourage everybody, just keep aware of your surroundings. If you have someone that you could be with at all times, then do that. But just, be aware of your surroundings.
Any idea how or why he targeted her?
I'm not going to comment on that at this time.
What is the age of the victim?
The victim's 26?
26.
26.
D.A. Kane, similar question to you. What's your message to the residents of Erie County moving forward, and how important is it to get justice in this case?
Oh, we will get justice in this case. And I will tell you that, there are two messages, and I'll just echo what Chief said. First of all, be careful, be aware of your surroundings. But I think it's also important to point out how rare this kind of situation is. We just haven't seen this. And it's rare that, total stranger abduction like this. But she was smart, and she was, she fought. And that's why she is, here today and able to tell the story. And that's why we're able to be here and prosecute him, is because she was smart and she was going to fight for herself. So I commend her. I commend the Cheektowaga Police Department. I should have mentioned the Buffalo Police Department. None of these cases are resolved in Erie County without great collaboration with all of our partners. The digital evidence that was uncovered that was very important to solving this case will be more clear as we move forward. We don't like to get into a lot of detail on that kind of evidence, at this stage. But, the main thing here for us is that we have great partners in law enforcement, and we work together to solve horrific cases like this. Anything else?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.